10 of the most important qualities women should expect in a guy. 1. He's vulnerable. When a guy builds walls around himself, it can be difficult to maintain a healthy relationship with him. We live in a society where guys are encouraged not to display openness. But when he shows a willingness to step away from his comfort zone and open his heart to you, it's a sign he's a keeper. It's also important that you do the same thing, by the way. 2. He's assertive. You should look for a man who is willing to tell you what he wants. This is essential for any relationship to survive. The problem is, a lot of guys won't do this. They might wish you would give them a back rub or foot massage, but they have difficulties with communicating their needs and desires. Ultimately, healthy couples aren't afraid to tell each other what they need in order to feel loved and appreciated. 3. He believes in an equal partnership. If you've ever felt like you weren't treated as an equal in the relationship, it's most likely because your partner wasn't treating you with mutual respect. For thousands of years, society was highly paternalistic, with women having virtually no voice in regard to economic, political, or even sexual matters. Times have changed, and you deserve to be with a guy who doesn't feel the need to dominate you. 4. He's protective. This one is an absolute requirement in any relationship. As a woman, you ought to be with somebody who makes you feel safe at all times. With the right guy, you should never feel like you're in a position where you have to defend yourself. When you're around him, you'll always be okay. 5. He's aware. Although you should never want to change your partner, it's perfectly acceptable to want to influence him. In fact, studies show that couples are happiest when men allow themselves to be influenced by their significant others. It's been demonstrated that women show more of a willingness to be influenced, but it's also important for men to show that they are willing to contribute to the emotional well-being of their partner. 6. He values chemistry. You've no doubt been on a date with a guy who had a nice personality and was even attractive, but ultimately there just wasn't the right chemistry. When it comes down to it, you need to seek out a guy with who you feel at ease talking to, have interests in common, and who makes you feel energized when you meet with them. These are the important qualities that allow you to establish the kind of deep connection required for a lasting relationship. 7. He has emotional presence. Have you ever met up with a guy who spent more time looking through his smartphone than talking to you? This is a sure sign that a relationship doesn't stand a chance. Just as you should be emotionally present when he's doing the talking, you should also expect him to do the same. Although the same lines, being there for somebody means messaging them or answering their call as soon as is reasonably possible, or at least let them know ahead of time that you might not be available to respond right away. 8. He's stable. This one is huge and involves 3 parts: financial stability, emotional stability, and relationship stability. Dating somebody who isn't smart with their money is bound to lead to trouble down the road, if not right away. In terms of emotional and relationship stability, you don't want somebody who is unpredictable. You want somebody who you can count on, especially when there will come a time when you and your partner would want to buy a house together and have children. 9. He's curious. A guy who is serious about a relationship should be interested in your thought processes and curious to know how you make decisions, rather than simply judging you. When they wonder why you act a certain way, don't take it as an offense. They genuinely want to know who you are. But at the same time, you don't want to date somebody who is constantly interrogating you. 10. He's accepting. If your man's goal is to date somebody he wants you to be rather than who you actually are, he's not the right guy for you. You should avoid guys who are constantly trying to find ways to improve or upgrade you. When they are constantly criticizing and judging you, it's their way of saying they don't accept you unless you become someone else. If this happens, feel free to escort them out the door or leave yourself. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell icon, so that you will be notified whenever we upload new videos.